Kids, good evening. It's my vlog for July 22nd, 2012, and how are you? Hope you enjoyed your weekend or are still in the process of enjoying your weekend. And if you're on the other side of the date line, happy Monday to ya. Anyhow, wanted to speak today about a variety of things. So first, we'll go to the most important pressing issue. Everything's calmed down in my house. I had quite a wild, woolly weekend with the paranormal, with dishes exploding and doppelgangers appearing and all kinds of mess. Friday, Saturday was particularly bad. Today, things have seemed to calm down for some reason, so I guess that's a good thing, although I still have seen a few out of the corner of my eye, and two right in front of me today. It's much quieter than it has been. The last 10 days or so have been quite active in my house. Something stirred up the ghosties and the goblies and whatever. So they don't hurt anything really. And once you've seen them for a number of years, you get used to it. Now, on to the Second Amendment. I was doing dishes and cooking and doing more dishes and cooking and doing more dishes and eating and doing more dishes and thinking all this time about how do we get to this impasse that this country has with our Second Amendment. Because some people want it repealed completely. A lot of people say it's untouchable, leave it alone, leave our guns alone, leave our freedoms alone, blah, blah, blah. And I thought about it this way. It's kind of like the highway system. Once the system was built, the people that maintain the system are those that use it through gasoline taxes and tolls and everything else. Those are the only people that pay now for our highway system. They do it through revenue, through, again, like gasoline taxes and way taxes for trucks and all that kind of stuff. So I thought we could do this with the Second Amendment because Congress has the ultimate ability to tax the American people on anything. So here's the idea. Throw open the doors. Let anybody buy whatever they want. They can buy a nuclear bomb. They can buy shoulder-fired missiles, hellfire missiles, and shoot down airplanes at the airport all day long, or whatever they want. Let them go wild. But here's the catch. Every armament, every bullet, everything that you buy has to be registered. Every single one. With somebody's name, social security number, verified. It doesn't matter if you're mentally ill or not. Everybody's welcome. Now here's the kicker. Every time someone gets killed, whether intentionally, accidentally, or whatever, and however much that entire process costs, for example, this Colorado incident will definitely cost over $100 million by the time all is said and done, if not more, in investigations, in incarceration, in lawsuits, and and lost business, and somebody's got to pay for that. And it should be all these gun owners, because there's a lot of people in America that choose not to participate and own rifles or shotguns or handguns or any kind of weapon. So we choose not to participate. Therefore, our tax dollars should not have to go to pay for this shit. So every time an incident happens, then the gun company, the gun shop, and everybody that owns a weapon will get a bill. They'll just calculate the entirety of that number, whatever that number is, and divide it by how many guns are out there or weapons of whatever sort, and then send everybody an invoice. Pretty simple. A tax called a kill tax or a disaster tax or a Amendment 2 tax. And you'll just get a tax bill every time somebody shoots somebody else. Or every time there's a massacre. Every time somebody downs an airplane with a shoulder hellfire missile or whatever. When all is said and done, you'll get a tax bill. And if you die before it arrives, the IRS can freeze all your assets in your estate until they get the number calculated, and they will deduct it before your family and relatives get to your estate. I think that's the only fair way to do it. Just my opinion. That way everybody's happy. The people that want their guns and bullets and everything can have as much as they want, as long as they're willing to pay. So if you get one gun, you only owe one thing. But if you get 5 guns, you're on the hook for 5, whatever it is, 5 tax bills or whatever. Sound good? I like it too. Because really, who needs 25 or 30 guns unless you're like this kid that wanted to go shoot up a movie theater? You don't need all that. But if you like it and you're willing to pay for it, you're willing to pay the responsibility for it, let it happen. Amen. Hallelujah. Let me know what you think about that. Next topic. The Olympics is coming up. It starts Friday. Now, back in the day when the air was dirty and so was sex, I used to be like kind of a jockish kind of guy. I played tennis and swam on swimming teams and played football, and I was a water ski racer. I did all kinds of athletic things. I was Mr. Athlete. I also ran stairs in high heels, so I had a good looking pair of gabs, and I was strong on my feet when I did comedy shows. But I digress. After I retired from all of that, I was still kind of a football fan. I watched it on TV quite often, but it's kind of drifted out of my interest. Most of the time I still catch the Super Bowl, of course, and a few games here and there, but I really don't follow it like Mr. Statistics and names and stuff. I just, don't get into it. I enjoy watching the game. I don't enjoy studying it like science. I played a little basketball, but it really didn't interest me all that much. I just happened to be taller than all the rest of the kids, so it worked at the time. Now, not so much. I like watching hockey, ice hockey, just so they could see people banging each other around. And it used to be fun to go to the games in Miami and throw rats on the ice, but they banned that, so that took all the fun out of that sport. But the Olympics are something different. I watch the Olympics like an addiction every 2 years. Winter and Summer Olympics, I love them. And soon coming up, you will see many less videos from me for about 2 weeks. And I will not be around on Facebook nearly as much because I will be tuned into my television set and plugging things into my DVR so I can watch round-the-clock coverage of the Olympics. And trust me, there is nothing I like more than some hot, sweaty eye candy. Yeah. And I will be tuned into my huge HD TV, my 40, I think it's a 42-inch HD TV, and with blushing color, and I will be focusing on every little aspect of everything I can get eye candy on. You can bet that. And what I can't watch, that's on another channel, at the same time I will have on my DVR, and I will get to it. I will also continue to follow the Olympics for about a week afterwards when everybody comes home, and the ones I've determined are worthy of my time to want to see again, maybe in some clothes. I will wait for their, 11 o'clock p.m. and Daily Show and all that kind of stuff, interviews, and DVR those too. Then I'll be back to normal. But I'm getting ready for the Republican Convention in Tampa. And let me tell you something. I hope, and I know this sounds sinister, and I will not be participating. I refuse to go down to Tampa, even close to anywhere from Tampa. It scares the life out of me. Those people scare the life out of me. But I hope that every crazy wingnut liberal in the entire universe descends on Tampa and just lights the place on fire. Because they have turned it into this Nazi police state, which is just a humiliation. And the fact that these people, these Republicans, have to protect themselves to that degree alone lets you know how much they're really hated by the average man. That alone says it all. So bring it. I would love to watch the news coverage of that. That would be as good as the Olympics, because I've been in very dangerously riotous-like situations. I was in a rioty situation once in Miami where they took over I-95, and it was just like this, like, you know, Liberty City just exploded in rage, and there was like carnage everywhere and buildings burning, and it was disruptive and scary, and you didn't want to go anywhere, and it was hard to get to work, and we had trouble getting our planes catered, and it was just horrible. I also, you know, watched on TV with bated breath through the Rodney King LA riots and all that kind of stuff, and happened to show up for a family visit during that time, and it was mighty tense. So I've been in these kind of situations before, and I wouldn't mind in this particular case seeing it again, because they have done so much to take away so many liberties from the average person for this convention, and barricaded the city like as a war zone. So they're almost inviting a war. And it's sick to see. It's sad. And they're taking away people's right to speak. They're taking away everything, trying to turn this into some kind of Republican fantasy land that it really is not. As a show, this show for the American people. They're trying to turn what is reality TV into surrealism. Well, they actually are doing it. And it's a shameful act. Truly, truly shameful. So that's what's on my mind today. Tomorrow I'm having a very special day. I will talk about it in the evening after it's finished. But I just, for now, I'm really, really looking forward to my Monday. It's the first thing I've had to look forward to in a very long time. Have a good evening, everyone.